Hi, it's Jesse Zeman, Executive Director of the BC Wildlife Federation for the middle of April. We have a ton of things on the go. We just received notification that two of our PhD candidates received funding support through MyTax, which is a federal funding agency where they match our dollars to help get people through their research. That's going to go towards the Southern Interior Mule Deer Project and the Cougar Project. So awesome news. Sam Foster and Siobhan Darlington should be done within the next 2 years. Last week, we were at the Wildlife Society AGM and Convention, which is essentially a bunch of, well, all the researchers in Canada, academics, and students. They met last week. We got an invite to present on behalf of the Fish, Wildlife, and Habitat Coalition. Tons of awesome feedback about the coalition and a ton of awesome feedback about the work that the BCWF is doing. So that was a positive experience. For the folks in the interior, particularly kind of the Thompson area around Kamloops, on the bad news front, it sounds like there could be a bunch of winter kill on a number of the interior lakes. We will be providing a list to our members. For a lot of those lakes, you may have to adjust your plans for this year. In the education side, conservation webinars, Learn to Hunt, Learn to Fish series. On April 25th, we're going to have a webinar with Dr. Rob Soroya and Mateen Sami on moose, caribou, and wolves. And so they're going to kind of bring the whole picture together in terms of caribou recovery and what it means for, science, conservation, and the hunting community. On the Learn to Hunt, Learn to Fish, we had a webinar with Dylan from Eat Wild on Learn to Hunt black bears. Brian Chan just completed one on the basics of chironomid fishing. And then next week, we're going to have Danny Coyne, who will be talking about the basics of kokanee fishing. So those series are going really well, lots of engagement, and people are learning a ton. If you get the chance, I definitely recommend attending them. In the other world of good news, Bonaparte River, we just completed a kilometer of off-stream channel restoration for coho. This is just a phenomenal project with Bonaparte Indian Band, a number of our funders, including Healthy Watersheds Initiative. Really excited to see the BCWF get into the world of salmon habitat restoration. That is where the dollars go from a lot of our fundraising efforts. Same with wetlands restoration. So just an awesome project, which we expect to see pretty significant benefits for coho. In the world of the media, we've been covered in a number of media outlets all over the province, again, related to the Becoming Outdoors Woman. So we have one coming up in Prince George, which we really want to fill, and one coming up in Lake Country this spring. We were on CBC talking about some research that was recently completed and published on the North Thompson River. It was supported by First Nations out of Barrier. That was through Jonathan Moore's lab at SFU. The long story short is when you log in the riparian area or close to rivers, that means the rivers get hotter, and hot water is not good for salmon. So I want to thank Dr. Moore and his students for getting that paper out into the public. Also talked on the Mike Smith show about increases in freshwater fishing licenses. We also met with Minister Cullen and Minister Ralston, who are the ministers of water, land, and resource stewardship and forests. And the big concern, of course, is what's happening up in the Peace, where the province has essentially walked away from science-based wildlife management as it relates to caribou and moose. So some pretty significant concerns. We also brought the message that we are looking for dedicated funding for wildlife, similar to what we recently got announced for water, so that we can start doing a better job of taking care of those resources and restoring them. In the world of fundraising, 50/50 is still live. It's over $150,000 right now. The funding from that goes into getting youth outdoors, Fishing Forever, where we get folks with disabilities out accessing fishing opportunities. It goes into wetlands and fish restoration, and it goes into controlled burns. The controlled burn project we've been talking about for a long time. This is going to be 3 large-scale burns in the interior. We just signed an agreement with the Government of Canada for $1.55 million to help get that project going. So awesome news. We also just ordered over 500 trail cameras for the monitoring portion of that project. So we're going to have a few pallets showing up here quickly. AGM is rapidly approaching. We're busy planning. It's going to be, a hard one after 3 years off, but we're looking forward to seeing people in person. If you're not able to attend in person, we're going to have a silent auction and a live auction, which are both going to be available in person and online. We have well north of $100,000 worth of prizes, everything from hunts to fishing trips to weekend getaways to hunting and fishing gear. So we are really looking forward to that. The site is live. We'll be adding more items to it every day. Highly recommend, if you can't attend the AGM Convention, if you can sign up for the website for the silent auction and bid and the live auction. We really appreciate it. It helps this is what helps run the Federation. For the Saturday night, we have saved some tickets for folks that just want to attend the dinner, awards, gala, and the fundraiser. Those will be available on the BCWF website. Jim Shockey is the keynote that night, so really looking forward to hear what he has to say. And then the last one, BC Outdoors Show was last month. It was awesome. Lots of great engagement. Met a whole bunch of new partners and friends and signed up some new memberships. This weekend in Kelowna, we have the Interior Sportsmen Show. And so we will be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Chloe Wright with the Southern Interior Mule Deer Project UBCO is actually going to be presenting there. I'll be presenting some stuff around mule deer and whitetail deer hunting and ecology, and we'll have a BCWF booth there. So please come down and say hi. That's it for this member update. Hope everyone is having a great spring. Thanks. Bye.